This is David, Maplewood Dave VSG, with my first ever video blog. So, welcome to it. I'm a little nervous on doing this. I'm not used to tape recording myself and putting it out there for general consumption. So, stick with me if I have any technical difficulties. Anyhow, I decided to do this because I was inspired by so many different men and women on YouTube who have gone through the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And it's been a long time for me deciding to do this. And it's taken me a long time to put up this first video, but tomorrow is my surgery day. I'm anxious as all hell. Anyway, but it's okay. I'm busy and things will keep me going. But I thought that since I got so much out of everything that you guys had shared with me about your journey and your success and your stumbles and everything else, that I thought, well, I would put mine out there too and see if there's anybody that maybe it would resonate with too. So anyhow, a little bit about me. My name's David. Like I said, I live in Maplewood, New Jersey, which is about 20 miles outside of Manhattan. And the usual, I suppose. You know, I've struggled with weight my entire adult life. I've gone up and down and up and down, and and never has it been a permanent solution. And now that I'm 50 years old this past year, I'm at my heaviest ever. And now I'm lucky that I have good genes because I'm rarely, relatively healthy. My glucose is a little bit elevated. My blood pressure is a little bit elevated. But I'll tell you what's not a little bit elevated is the pain in my back and the pain in my knees when I walk any distance, quite frankly, at this point. And it's a little bit, it's like my shame. So speaking of my shame, I'll tell you, this morning my weight was 405 pounds. Ugh, put it out there. Man up, Dave. My highest was 420. As an adult, I've been as low as 184, but I just did it the wrong way. I starved constantly. I did nothing but work out, and I looked like a freaking skeleton, so it wasn't even attractive. And I think that maybe some other people have gone through that and the psychological drama. But, essentially, I think how I got to this point was I saw my life shrinking, just my circle of activities would smaller and smaller and smaller. I live near one of the most exciting cities in the world, and people would invite me for biking in the city along the West Side Highway and over the Brooklyn Bridge, and I'd turn them down. Let's go walking and shop all day on 8th Avenue, and no freaking way was I going to do that. So I find myself just working long hours and coming home and sitting in this recliner. I got this big lazy boy leather recliner that I call my coma lounger because I can sit in it and out like a light. And I'm too vibrant for that. I'm too young for that shit yet. So I don't want to sit in the chair and die. I want to get back to feeling as young as my mind feels. Anyway, so I started this journey, and it was a difficult decision. And I'm going to confess something because I have a phobia where it comes to doctors. Such a bad phobia that I hadn't had a physical in 25 years. The thing is about doing one of these video blogs is you really have to tell your personal, open your personal closet and tell your skeletons. So there's my skeletons. I'm a big pussy when it comes to doctors. There you have it. Anyway, so the only time I would go to the doctor, if I was sick, I would go to the urgent care center, and then they would give me whatever drugs I needed for the, I don't know, bronchial infection or the flu or whatever I had, and I'd get over it and I'd be fine. But as my weight grew, I knew that there was the potential for other things grew, and I was afraid to find the answer to that. But I think it was a year and a half ago, I was listening to some talk radio, and this was when, what was that, The Secret, that book, The Secret, basically, sit on your ass and wish for things to come to you was big, and I agree with putting the positive energy out in the world. I think that that's, it doesn't hurt. Better to have a positive, mindset than a negative one, right? Um, but this guy said his theory was that it wasn't enough to just sit there and think, wish good things, but if you did small moves, even tiny, tiny moves in the direction of where you wanted to be, they might be such small steps that you would think them ridiculous. But if you did the first small step and then the next small step, and honestly, this is an age-old thing. The what's that? Journey of 1,000 miles starts with one pace or whatever, one step. Same thing. So I figured I bought his book for what it's worth. Actually, it's a good theory. It is a good theory, and it worked. And Sydney the Wonder Dog's here. Hey there, girl. But so I started, and the first start was to get my health house in order. Find a doctor that I liked, that was that resonated with me, and I did that. And I had the full physical, and things weren't as bad. As a matter of fact, the doctor said that. She said, surprisingly, these aren't that bad. Go figure. Anyhow, oh, this is, I don't know if you can see her. This is Sydney, my greyhound. Hey, girl, say hey. Anyhow, she'll be making appearances as this journey progresses. But, so I found her, and I told her that in my first visit, I told her I was apprehensive about doctors, and she was really cool, and she was like, we'll take this as, slow if you don't want to do your test today, and I finally, and I was kind of like, well, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. Wasn't that big of a deal, quite frankly. So I've been over the course of getting insurance approved for this surgery, and she was very supportive of it. I've been poked and prodded and examined by any myriad of doctors, specialists. I've had breathing tests. I've had a scope down my throat. I haven't had one up the butt yet. That's coming because I'm 50. But all of the stuff that I needed to have, the EKGs, the stress test, everything. And, it worked. Everything worked out. And I got approved on my insurance the first time. First letter, I guess they call it, on some of the blogs. And I'm going for it. I'm going for it tomorrow. And I'm hoping, I know it's going to be work. I know it's going to be a lot of work and dedication. And I'm hoping that it will be everything I wanted it to be. I don't want this to be downer. Anyway, I'm talking about all this shit that's like downer. Anyhow, so I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous, but it's all right. I've got my dad's coming here today, and my friend's coming here, and my significant other. And these folks are going to be here for me through it. And I've got a lot of friends that are really pulling for me, so that's really great. And I was really, really just, like I said, inspired by everybody else on YouTube that also gave me their information. And it seems like you guys have a great community, and I hope that I can become a good part of it. Sometime later, I'll tell you about my story of being in London and having some British man tell me that I've got ghetto booty. Because, when you're heavy, people tend to notice your big bits. Anyway, I think before I sign off, because I'm getting to like the 8-minute mark and I'm rambling, I should do body shots since this is the first one. So let me see if I can do this. All right, I'm going to tilt you over here. There's Sydney the Wonder Dog. Don't mind my sheets sitting on my thing. They got to be changed today. Anyways, okay. Oh, under the light. So here I am at 4:05, 5'11". In the front, and the side, the back, ghetto booty, the other side. And thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my beginning story, my first video. And I hope that's the first of many more. And I hope that you can track my success. Talk to you guys later. Bye.